arrival of Dalek Time Strategist. Materialization in progress. Materialization complete. Confirm structural integrity of dimensional containment sphere. Confirmed. Then the final destruction of the Time Lords can begin.
One question. Why am I still alive?
You are an enigma. My study of the timelines, the cult of Skaro, Dalek Caan, the false prophet, the new paradigm, Dalek history and your own are impossibly entangled. I have searched for ways to be rid of you.
But you're afraid to kill me in case it interferes with your plans to kill me?
I fear nothing.
You're not so terrible without your gun. Just a metal pot with an attitude.
I need no weapon. Like you, I am a strategist.
Then let's talk as two strategists. Why do you think the Sontaran is so confident they'll join the Time War?
They cannot.
Of course not. But Fesk doesn't accept that.
Hello, and welcome back to the History of series. Today we'll be adding to the archive probably one of the most influential Daleks of the Time War, if not all of Dalek history, being of course the Dalek Time Strategist, second in command of the entire Time War. So, without further ado, let's dive into his history. Following its defection from the Dalek Empire, the Dalek Time Controller's consciousness became part of the Eminence. Shortly after, the Dalek Supreme commissioned the creation of the Dalek Time Strategist from the remains of the Dalek duplicate Adelaine du Temps. The Dalek Combat Training Manual, published by the Time Lords during the last Great Time War, filed the Time Strategists and the predecessor, the Time Controller, as potentially apocryphal anomalies, with one strategist reported to have been the mastermind behind the Dalek victories during the Time War. Indeed, the Dalek Time Strategist became a major player in the Time War. 2 months into the war, it informed the Dalek Emperor that there was a secret Time Lord base in a pocket dimension which was vital to Project Revenant. The Emperor approved its strategy to seize the facility. After the base was destroyed by the Celestial Intervention Agency, eliminating the Dalek invasion force as the pocket dimension collapsed, the Emperor ordered it to appoint a new Supreme and devise a new strategy. During the course of the conflict, the Time Strategist rose to be the Empire's second-in-command. After the War Master used the Anti-Genesis codes to completely rewrite Dalek history, the Strategist commanded a single Dalek timeship, the only remnant of the original Daleks. It rescued the Master of a parallel universe, the Unbound universe, and ordered him to help the Daleks stop his N-Space counterpart. The Parallel Master attempted to find the progenitor of the disturbances, but every subject proved incorrect, and the Daleks' resources were diminishing with each attempt. Instead, the Strategist and the Parallel Master targeted the Master himself, stalking his paranoia that the Daleks would turn on him. The Master was eventually convinced, and helped them find his past self prior to altering Dalek history. The Masters attempted to convince the younger Master to abort his plan, whilst the Strategist simply exterminated his assistant, Kraslus, who was vital to the Master's Anti-Genesis plan, restoring the timeline to its previous state. The Strategist then immediately ordered the restored Daleks to capture the fleeing Master. The Daleks that operated an interrogation base on Sangre followed the orders of the Dalek Time Strategist after imprisoning the 8th Doctor, Bliss, and the 12. Following a spectacular defeat by the Time Lords, the Time Strategist began exploiting multi-dimensional temporal irregularities, intending to locate a parallel universe where Davros was still alive, and recruit him to strengthen the Daleks in the Time War, after the Davros of N-Space was lost to the Nightmare Child earlier in the war. The Time Strategist oversaw a mission to Thellian to acquire a genetic modifier, a device created by Shonath, the last of the Helixara, that she had used to prevent herself from being erased from history like the rest of her species. As the Daleks were unable to land their ship due to the large quantity of crashed spaceships orbiting Thellian, the Strategist ordered a Dalek agent that had crashed on the planet sometime previously to fix the transmat inside of Shonath's laboratory and link it to the transmat systems of the Dalek ships so that the Daleks could transmat themselves onto Thellian and acquire the genetic modifier. However, they were defeated by the 8th Doctor, who acquired the modifier and used the transmat to escape, briefly arriving on board the strategist's ship before transmitting back to his TARDIS. The Dalek Time Strategist was present on Grav, when the Daleks had created a new superweapon to erase the Time Lords from existence. The Time Lords sent the Valeyard to Grav, which backfired as he managed to turn the weapon against the Daleks instead, erasing them from existence. Shortly before the weapon erased the Daleks, the Time Strategist swore to the Valeyard that this was not the end, and escaped through a dimensional portal. The dimensional portal connected to a similar portal created by an alternative universe's Davros on a parallel Skaro, allowing him to escape. Explaining his original plan to Davros and how it had evolved into a resurrection scheme for the Daleks, the Time Strategist convinced Davros that the Eighth Doctor, whom he had previously encountered via the same portal, intended to eradicate the Khalids of Davros' universe. He ordered Davros to wire his dimensional portal into the Strategist's mutant body, combining their expertise on time, space, and the multiverse to merge echoes of Davros' selves from across the multiverse together, using the Davros of this Skaro as the template. The Time Strategist extended this merging to include echoes of different Daleks created by Davros' alternate selves, so that by the time they returned to N-Space via the Gulf of Ithon, the Daleks were infinite in number, allowing the Last Great Time War to begin again. After travelling to Koska to harvest data from Davros in order to complete the restoration of the Daleks, the Dalek Time Strategist travelled with the Eighth Doctor to the Time Strategist's enclave between universes. He explained to the Doctor that, despite scouring every universe, he could not locate the original Dalek Emperor, and so decided to complete the Daleks' restoration by resurrecting the Emperor of N-Space instead. When questioned by the Doctor, the Time Strategist explained that he had kept the Time Lord alive due to his complex involvements with the Daleks' timeline. Having seen the Doctor's future, he attempted to persuade the Doctor to destroy Gallifrey by offering him a cryopod containing an alternate universe version of his grandson, Alex Campbell, whose N-Space equivalent had been killed previously by the Daleks. Despite the Time Strategist's advice, the Dalek Emperor ordered the Daleks to capture Davros from Koska to execute him directly. When Davros triggered a civil conflict between the Daleks concerning who should lead the restored Dalek Empire, between himself and the Emperor, of course, the Dalek Time Strategist desperately attempted to stabilize the Emperor when Davros' actions terminated the Strategist's multiversal matrix, as it lost its infinite Dalek reinforcements. The Dalek Time Strategist frantically performed an emergency temporal shift, as its enclave was destroyed by an isomorph bomb planted by Major Tamazan. The Time Strategist approached the Emperor with a new strategy. Using null zone technology, they flew a saucer to Gallifrey's orbit, bypassing the time vortex and Kasterborous' defences. The Strategist had the captive Romana used as a spokesperson, having prevented the Emperor from simply exterminating her upon capture, to issue an ultimatum while the null zone technology recharged so the saucer could land in the capital. As the Daleks fought off Time Lord counterattacks while still waiting for the recharge, the Emperor asked the Strategist on their likelihood of success, but he claimed the timelines near Gallifrey were impossible to predict. When Narvin and Livia detonated a battle TARDIS by the null zone power source, causing the saucer to break apart, the Time Strategist arranged the escape of the Emperor and itself. The Time Strategist oversaw the assassinations carried out by the Time-eradicated Dalek, one of its engineers now connected to the Time Vortex from a facility on Etheria. It interrogated the War Doctor when he was captured and deducted his identity. The Strategist reluctantly allowed the Eradicated to meet the Doctor, and stopped it targeting the Doctor's timeline. When Gallifreyan forces attacked, the Strategist feigned sustaining major damage to attack its captors when their guard was down, only to be destroyed by Commodore Tamazan. After the Doctor erased the Eradicator from existence, the entire assassination program was erased along with the battle on Etheria, restoring the Strategist to existence. The Time Strategist's position as the Emperor's aide was coveted by many Daleks, and especially by the commander of the Red Fleet, leading to a rivalry between the two Daleks. Discovering the commander had secretly negotiated with Thal, the Strategist had it tortured until it revealed details, ignoring its demands to see the Emperor. After it revealed the true location it had lured the Thal ship Temmosus to, the Strategist took the commander before the Emperor and declared it a traitor, for which the Emperor praised him. The Strategist ordered the capture of the Temmosus in defiance of the Emperor's instructions to destroy the vessel. However, the Daleks boarding encountered the War Doctor, who used his TARDIS to transport it back to Time Lord space. During the Barber Surgeon's campaign, the Time Strategist sought to manipulate events for its own benefit. Learning from Dalek intelligence that the War Doctor had been assigned by the War Council to assassinate the Barber Surgeon, the Strategist secretly ordered a Dalek hunter-killer to pursue him, finding the Barber Surgeon and his factory for its own ends at the same time. When the War Doctor was captured on Skaro, attempting to steal the Daleks' intelligence on the Baba Surgeon, he was brought before the Strategist. The Strategist chose to let him escape, claiming it was because he stood the best chance against their mutual enemy, but subsequently raised the alarm so as to not raise suspicion. After the Hunter-Killer found the portal to the Baba Surgeon's dimension on prehistoric Earth, the Strategist ordered it to follow the Doctor there, in defiance of the Dalek Admiral's orders. The Emperor learned of the Strategist's secret plot and dispatched a group of special weapons Daleks to destroy it for insubordination. After the Baba Surgeon erased himself from history, these events were undone. The Time Strategist would indeed return and continue to be a vital part of Dalek operations as the war dragged on. Later in the Time War, the Dalek Time Strategist sent Lara Zanus to Earth to capture the Shadow Vortex. The Time Strategist wanted to invade the Earth in order to destroy it, and stop the Doctor from meeting his companions, hopefully erasing him from history. Later, the Dalek Time Strategist sent Daleks to Rovidia to capture Cardinal Lystra, intending to steal her knowledge of Time War's secrets. But the Sontaran General Fesk tricked the Time Strategist into meeting him and took the Strategist prisoner, disarming it. The Time Strategist was placed with Lystra, where they talked about the starting of the Time War. In the chaos caused by the rescue attempt of Lystra by the War Doctor, Helena, and Caan, the Dalek Time Strategist was recovered by the Daleks. He ordered the destruction of the Rovidian fleet after the Doctor left the planet. The Time Strategist believed the Doctor had given the Daleks the means to win the Time War. It used Helena to gain access to the Eye of Harmony chamber, and planned to use the Dalek Time Squad to attack the Eye, causing it to collapse and destroy the Time Lords. Well, hopefully. The Doctor stopped the Time Strategist's plan by destroying the Eye of Harmony chamber. After the battle TARDIS disappeared from the Time Vortex, the Dalek Time Strategist ordered that all the timelines be scoured to find the Doctor and destroy him. The Dalek Time Strategist ordered the destruction of the space station the Doctor landed on as a way to kill him. Later, after he had seen Schneidel's news report on the Doctor, he ordered the complete destruction of Beltox. Learning that the Doctor had gone to Grend, the Time Strategist ordered the Dalek fleet to go there regardless of the threat of the Obsidian Nebula. It later ordered the destruction of Rosetta Traxter's ship in order to kill the Doctor. After one of the Dalek hunter drones disappeared, the Time Strategist went into the Nebula, where Skoll gave him an ultimatum. The Time Strategist decided to give him the coordinates of where they were heading, as the Daleks had decided to return to the battle at Grend. When it realised that the Time Lords weren't originally supposed to be there, the Time Strategist ordered them to leave, as its prime objective was now ready. The Dalek Time Strategist went to a dimensional sphere to start its final plan. It had sent the Enigma to destroy Gallifrey, to destroy the Time Lords. When the Doctor took his TARDIS to the same dimension as him, the Time Strategist thought that doing so wasn't possible. He had threatened the Enigma to do its work. When the Daleks powered up their weapon to destroy the Enigma, the Time Strategist realised that the TARDIS was absorbing the energy from it. The situation was resolved when the Enigma returned both Time Lords and the Daleks to N-Space. A survivor of the Time War, Dalek Caan, broke through the time lock and retrieved Davros, who founded the new Dalek Empire in the post-Time War universe. Through this act, Caan was exposed to time, and so could see and influence the timelines, with Davros valuing his prophecies, whilst the Supreme Dalek dismissed them as insane. Having come to believe that the Daleks must be destroyed, Caan ultimately engineered the destruction of the new Dalek Empire. The Time Strategist, who had itself been tasked with seeing the future during the Time War, became aware of Caan, and denounced him as the false prophet. The Pathweb held data on the Dalek Time Strategist and its many gambits, including the Shadow Vortex, but this data was largely discarded by the early New Dalek paradigm, as they had no way to verify any of it. Human historians were aware of a theory which claimed that the paradigm's eternal Dalek served as an advisor by seeing every possible future at once, that the Dalek mutant was forever kept out of sync with the rest of time, thus linking the Eternal directly into the Time Vortex in order to see what the future held. And that is the story of the Dalek Time Strategist, one that I feel is quite incomplete, with lots of room for additions. He is by far one of the most important Daleks in Dalek history, essentially leading their side of the Time War, and also my favourite Dalek of them all. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe down below, as it really helps out the channel. But anyway, as always, thanks for watching.